Joining us now via Skype with more on the United States' decision to withdraw troops from Syria is Dr. Martin Sherman, the founder and executive director of the Israel Institute for Strategic Studies. Dr. Sherman, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me again.
All right, so let's just get started. Where do you see the situation evolving into once the United States actually withdraws from Syria?
Well, I think it's a bit premature to speculate because, Trump is so mercurial, he could easily reverse his decision under pressure from some of his advisors. But assuming that the decision stays in place, it's certainly probably going to have the gravest implications for the Kurds, threatened not by Russia or by Iran, but more by Turkey. I think that, the real unknown is how biting the sanctions are going to be on Iran and to deplete its strength. If Iran faces serious economic collapse at home, it may well have to curtail its adventures abroad, which is the major Israeli concern. That's basically the Israeli concern in Syria. So I think it's a bit early to speculate how things will turn out.
All right, well, some suggest that the move marks a loss of touch between Netanyahu and Trump. Would you agree with that? Because like you said, Netanyahu is not really listening to any of his advisors on this, certainly not to Netanyahu. So has Netanyahu maybe lost his edge with the United States, with the White House?
Well, this is certainly grist for the conspiracy theory molds. I can think of 1,000 alternative explanations. People are probably going to say, well, maybe this is some deal between Putin and Trump. But it certainly doesn't, on the face of things, it's not a positive development for Israel. I don't know, I don't think anyone really knows what complementary measures are being discussed behind the scenes. But on the face of it, it does seem to be that the United States has not taken Israeli interests into consideration here.
All right, so you mentioned Russia and President Putin. So Netanyahu said that he'll actually increase Israel's operations in Syria after the United States pulls out. How do you think Russia will likely respond to that, especially given that the ties between Israel and Russia are now only finally getting back to normal after the downing of a Russian aircraft in September?
Well, as I say, Israel does seem to be in some senses between a rock and a hard place in Syria. The pullout of the American troops certainly constrains its freedom of movement, and the Russian upgrading of the air defenses there is also not going to help Israel's operational freedom. I think there are certainly grave concerns on the horizon, but I think Israel will find ways, at least in Syria, to circumvent some of those obstacles and actually implement its freedom of action there to protect Israel's interests. Although it would have been easier had Trump's decision been different.
Oh, of course. All right. Well, at any rate, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you for having me.